Hello friends. Have you ever wondered what happens when two powerful cosmic archetypes collide, when fiery Aries energy merges with the enigmatic snake of Chinese astrology, and then meets the wild, free-spirited Sagittarius monkey? The result is a relationship dynamic unlike anything else, passionate, chaotic, magnetic, yet riddled with contradictions. Today, let's journey deep into the compatibility of Aries Snake and Sagittarius Monkey, exploring their love, marriage, sex life, friendship, business potential, darker sides, and ultimately, what they're truly seeking in life. Love. At first glance, Aries Snake and Sagittarius Monkey are irresistibly drawn to one another, almost as if some invisible cosmic magnet pulls them together despite their obvious differences. The Aries Snake carries an aura of mystery, like a character you meet in a novel who seems to know more than they say. They are charismatic without effort, ambitious without apology, and magnetic in their quiet confidence. Standing across from them is the Sagittarius Monkey, a force of nature in human form. The monkey's laughter fills the air like music, their wit sharp enough to keep anyone entertained, their zest for life almost childlike in its purity. It is this stark contrast, the snake's enigmatic stillness against the monkey's joyful chaos, that sparks the first flame of attraction. The snake finds themselves hypnotized by the monkey's ability to make even the dullest moment feel alive, while the monkey cannot resist the snake's depth, that promise of secrets waiting to be uncovered. But here's the truth. Attraction is only the first chapter in their story. Love between Aries Snake and Sagittarius Monkey is not simple, nor is it linear. It is a dynamic dance, sometimes harmonious, sometimes out of sync, but always intense. Aries Snake approaches love with gravity, often seeing it as a profound bond meant to grow, deepen, and endure. They want a partner who will stand the test of time, someone they can trust with their vulnerabilities and their ambitions. Sagittarius Monkey, in contrast, approaches love like an ongoing festival. To them, romance must be thrilling, full of laughter, new experiences, and constant stimulation. They don't want love to feel heavy. They want it to feel like freedom, like wind against their face as they run toward the unknown. This is where the clash of needs begins. Where the snake seeks security, loyalty, and unwavering devotion, the monkey thrives on novelty, excitement, and reinvention. The snake may, at times, feel unsettled by the monkey's restless spirit, fearing that laughter and play could one day replace commitment. The monkey, on the other hand, may feel suffocated by the snake's depth, worrying that their partner's need for emotional seriousness could become a cage around their playful soul. And yet, this very clash is also their greatest opportunity. For when these two meet halfway, when the snake loosens their grip and allows laughter to echo through their love, and when the monkey recognizes the value of stability and roots, they begin to create something rare. Their love becomes a balancing act, where security and novelty no longer oppose each other but instead weave into a shared tapestry. Imagine a love where one day is spent in quiet intimacy, the snake's hand steady and reassuring, and the next is filled with spontaneous adventure, the monkey leading them both into uncharted territory. This is what makes their connection unforgettable. Love between Aries Snake and Sagittarius Monkey is fiery, passionate, and unpredictable. It doesn't follow a script, and it doesn't fit neatly into the mold of traditional romance. Instead, it is alive, breathing, and constantly evolving. The snake learns that love doesn't always have to be solemn to be real. It can also be light, joyful, and full of laughter. The monkey, in turn, discovers that love isn't just about thrills. It is also about depth, trust, and having a safe harbor to return to when the adventures are done. Of course, challenges will arise. The snake's possessiveness may spark jealousy when the monkey's social charm attracts too much attention. The monkey's playful flirtations may unintentionally wound the snake's pride. Yet, if they face these challenges not as enemies but as partners, they transform friction into growth. Every argument becomes a lesson, every difference a bridge to greater understanding. Ultimately, love between Aries Snake and Sagittarius Monkey is not about perfection. It's about chemistry, resilience, and transformation. Together, they create a love story that burns brightly, a relationship that others watch with fascination, unsure whether it will collapse under its own intensity or thrive against all odds. But for the snake and the monkey, the journey itself is the reward. For even when they stumble, their love never feels ordinary. It feels alive, like fire in the night, wild, consuming, and impossible to ignore. Marriage. Marriage between Aries Snake and Sagittarius Monkey is not for the faint of heart. It is a union filled with intensity, contradictions, challenges, and dazzling rewards. On one hand, Aries Snake enters marriage with a sense of strategy and foresight. They are not the type to treat the commitment lightly. To them, marriage is an institution of permanence, a bond that must be nurtured and safeguarded. The snake thinks ahead, often envisioning the long-term trajectory of the relationship, planning for stability, and yearning for a household that feels orderly and secure. They see marriage as the foundation upon which legacies are built. Sagittarius Monkey, however, steps into the same marriage with an entirely different philosophy. For them, marriage is not a cage of rules but an ongoing adventure. They thrive on spontaneity, on shared laughter, on a sense that even within the bond of matrimony, freedom still breathes. To the monkey, marriage without joy, variety, and the occasional reckless escapade feels suffocating. They need a partner who can laugh at midnight, who can embrace a sudden trip without weeks of planning, who understands that marriage should never feel like a prison. Here lies the heart of their challenge, two fundamentally different expectations. Aries Snake may sometimes attempt to tame the monkey, pressing for seriousness, stability, and deeper commitment, fearing that the monkey's playful restlessness might erode the sanctity of their union. The snake may insist on rituals, responsibilities, and order that reassure them of loyalty and permanence. Yet the more the snake demands, the more the monkey's spirit resists. Sagittarius Monkey has an instinctive aversion to control, and when they sense their freedom slipping, their natural reaction is to push back, to rebel, to remind their partner that joy cannot be commanded. The result can be storms of arguments, full of fiery words and unspoken resentment. The snake may grow cold, withholding affection as a form of punishment, while the monkey may retaliate with sarcasm, flightiness, or reckless behavior. These storms, while exhausting, are also revealing. They expose the depths of each partner's needs, the pressure points that define the relationship. But there is hope, and it is profound. If Aries Snake learns that structure does not mean rigidity, and if Sagittarius Monkey learns that freedom does not have to equal recklessness, then their marriage transforms into something extraordinary. When the snake loosens their grip and allows laughter into the structure of the home, the monkey feels cherished rather than chained. When the monkey shows their partner that joy can coexist with loyalty, the snake feels secure rather than threatened. This delicate dance is what gives their marriage resilience. In the best scenarios, this partnership becomes a marriage of balance, a playground where tradition and spontaneity coexist. Imagine a home where the bills are paid on time, the future is carefully considered, and yet the dining table often bursts with laughter, storytelling, and impromptu adventures. The snake ensures the roots of the marriage run deep, while the monkey ensures its branches stretch toward the sky, catching every breeze of possibility. The beauty of this marriage lies in its constant evolution. Neither partner will ever feel stagnant. For the snake, the monkey offers a lifetime of color, humor, and adventure, preventing the relationship from ever becoming too heavy. For the monkey, the snake provides a grounding influence, a reminder that even freedom is sweeter when it has a safe home to return to. Yes, the clashes are real. Yes, the differences can feel insurmountable. But if both partners rise above ego, choosing to see their differences not as threats but as opportunities, their marriage becomes a model of growth. They discover that love is not about molding the other into an ideal but about weaving two contrasting truths into one shared story. So, marriage between Aries Snake and Sagittarius Monkey is neither simple nor serene, but it is alive, authentic, and capable of greatness. It asks for compromise, patience, and above all, respect. And when these are present, the marriage no longer feels like a battle for dominance or a test of endurance. It feels instead like a rare kind of union, one where laughter and strategy, freedom and loyalty, play and permanence find a way to dance together, creating a marriage that, though unconventional, is unforgettable. Sex. When it comes to physical intimacy between Aries Snake and Sagittarius Monkey, sparks don't just fly, they explode, radiating with a fiery brilliance that is both captivating and unpredictable. Aries Snake carries an aura of intensity into the bedroom, a sensuality that feels deliberate, magnetic, and undeniably potent. They approach intimacy not as a casual pastime but as an art form, something layered with meaning and infused with passion. Every touch from the snake is intentional, every glance heavy with mystery, every kiss hinting at secrets yet to be uncovered. Their energy is slow-burning but powerful, demanding depth, connection, and a kind of exclusivity that makes their lover feel both desired and possessed. Sagittarius Monkey, in contrast, brings an entirely different rhythm to intimacy, one of playfulness, spontaneity, and bold curiosity. For the monkey, sex is not just an expression of passion but also of joy, discovery, and creativity. They are eager to experiment, to try new things, to push boundaries not for shock value but for the sheer delight of experience. While the snake seduces with intensity and calculated allure, the monkey disarms with laughter, sudden kisses in unexpected places, and the refusal to let passion grow stale. Together, they form a contrast so sharp that it borders on explosive. One partner seeks intensity, the other seeks variety, and in the clash of these desires lies their greatest fire. The chemistry between them is undeniable. Snake's depth anchors the experience, turning intimacy into a moment of profound connection, while monkey's playful energy keeps the atmosphere electric, fresh, and alive. This balance often makes their sex life dynamic, sometimes passionate and consuming, sometimes wild and playful, sometimes an unpredictable mixture of both. It is this unpredictability that makes their encounters unforgettable. No two nights feel the same. One evening may be slow, smoldering, and filled with unspoken intensity, while the next may be filled with laughter, daring exploration, and exhilarating spontaneity. Yet, with all this fire comes friction. Aries Snake, in their need for exclusivity and emotional depth, may sometimes struggle with the monkey's restless curiosity. The snake wants assurance, a sense that their partner is fully invested, fully present, and fully theirs. When the monkey's natural tendency to seek novelty shines through, even if harmless, it can ignite insecurities in the snake, who interprets it as distraction or lack of loyalty. To the snake, intimacy is sacred, and any hint of frivolity can feel like betrayal. On the other hand, Sagittarius Monkey may feel weighed down by the snake's intensity. They may find themselves yearning for more freedom, more play, more moments of levity that are not bound by the weight of emotional expectation. To the monkey, intimacy should be fun and liberating, not something that always carries the gravity of permanence. If the snake becomes too possessive, the monkey may react with resistance, pulling away or seeking stimulation elsewhere, not necessarily in another person, but in new experiences, fantasies, or adventures that they feel are missing in the relationship. This delicate tension can either break them apart or forge an intimacy that few couples ever achieve. The key lies in communication. If Aries Snake can express their need for depth without suffocating the monkey's playful spirit, and if Sagittarius Monkey can reassure the snake of their devotion while still preserving their spontaneity, then their physical connection becomes not just passionate but transformative. Each partner learns from the other. The snake discovers that playfulness does not diminish passion, while the monkey realizes that depth does not kill joy. At their best, the sexual bond between Aries Snake and Sagittarius Monkey is an arena where both partners grow. Snake learns to let go, to laugh in the midst of passion, to embrace the thrill of experimentation without fear. Monkey learns the beauty of slowing down, of savoring intensity, of giving intimacy the reverence it deserves. Together, they create a space where fire meets air, where intensity feeds playfulness and playfulness fans intensity into brighter flames. It is important to note that their sexual relationship is not always easy. The same qualities that make it exciting can also make it volatile. Snake's possessiveness, if unchecked, can suffocate. Monkey's impulsivity, if left untamed, can wound. Yet, when both partners understand these shadows and work to balance them, their intimacy transforms into one of the most thrilling aspects of their relationship. In the end, sex between Aries Snake and Sagittarius Monkey is more than just physical. It is a constant negotiation, a dance between control and freedom, depth and levity, fire and laughter. It is raw, alive, and ever-changing. For some, this might seem exhausting, but for them, it is exhilarating. It ensures that their bond never fades into routine, never loses its spark. Instead, it evolves, grows, and keeps both partners on their toes. So yes, sparks fly, but it's more than that. They blaze, they ignite, they consume, and they illuminate. Their physical intimacy is not merely a bedroom affair but a reflection of their entire relationship, passionate, unpredictable, sometimes tumultuous, but always unforgettable. Friendship. As friends, Aries Snake and Sagittarius Monkey are like firecrackers thrown into the night sky, explosive, colorful, dazzling, and impossible to ignore. The moment these two cross paths in the context of friendship, there's an instant spark of intrigue. Aries Snake admires Sagittarius Monkey's quick wit, their ability to spin a clever joke or story in any setting, their boldness in walking into a room and commanding attention with charm rather than force. The snake, whose nature is often more calculating and inward-focused, finds themselves invigorated by the monkey's vibrant energy, almost as if they've been given a shot of adrenaline in social form. On the other side of this connection, Sagittarius Monkey holds a quiet but deep appreciation for Aries Snake's subtle strength. The snake is not loud, not showy, but their wisdom carries weight, and their charisma feels different from the monkey's, less about external sparkle and more about inner fire. The monkey, who sometimes races through life chasing the next laugh or thrill, often finds comfort in the snake's presence, as though they've stumbled across a friend who can both anchor them and challenge them in ways no one else can. It is this mutual admiration that forms the bedrock of their friendship. Their time together is rarely dull. Imagine the two of them on a random evening. What begins as a simple plan to grab dinner quickly spirals into hours of storytelling, playful debates, and spontaneous decisions that lead them down uncharted paths. The monkey's wild spirit ensures their friendship is filled with adventures, road trips without maps, parties that end at sunrise, challenges to try something outrageous just for the story. The snake, surprisingly, often goes along for the ride, because while they prefer structure in many areas of life, in friendship with the monkey they discover the joy of surrendering to the moment. And yet, this isn't a one-sided dynamic. For every wild idea the monkey brings, the snake offers a measured perspective, ensuring that their escapades don't cross into self-destruction. Their friendship is also marked by deep conversations. The snake loves to analyze, to ponder mysteries, to peel back the layers of reality, while the monkey adds humor, wit, and the ability to make the heaviest subjects feel bearable. Nights spent together often stretch until dawn, with both laughing one moment and falling into quiet reflection the next. There's a rhythm between them, like fire and water clashing, but in a way that keeps both balanced. However, no friendship, no matter how electric, exists without challenges. Sagittarius Monkey, with their restless nature, may sometimes find Aries Snake too controlling, too intense, or too demanding of seriousness. There are moments when the snake's need for loyalty and consistency can feel like a heavy chain to the monkey, who thrives on lightness and change. The monkey might mutter under their breath, "Why does everything have to be so serious with you?" Conversely, the snake may privately judge the monkey's antics as shallow, reckless, or lacking in foresight. Do you ever think about consequences? They may wonder, exasperated at their friend's impulsive leaps into chaos. These differences can trigger friction, and at times the two may pull away from each other in frustration. Yet, despite these clashes, the friendship rarely breaks. Why? Because beneath the surface-level differences, there is a genuine loyalty that binds them. The snake, though selective about friends, once committed, is fiercely protective. They may not show it loudly, but when the monkey is in trouble, the snake is there, calm, strategic, ready to offer wisdom or a helping hand. The monkey, in their own way, is equally loyal. Their loyalty shows through their energy and enthusiasm, through their ability to lighten the snake's burdens with laughter, through their insistence on reminding the snake that life doesn't always have to be heavy. When this friendship works, and more often than not, it does, it becomes an incredible force. They balance each other in ways few friendships achieve. The snake provides strategy, foresight, and grounding, while the monkey provides joy, excitement, and adaptability. It's like two puzzle pieces that at first seem mismatched but, when placed together, reveal a surprising picture of harmony. Together, they are a team that others admire. Friends look at them and wonder how such different personalities can get along so well, but that is precisely the magic. The snake teaches the monkey the importance of depth, while the monkey teaches the snake the importance of levity. Each becomes more whole through the presence of the other. And in this way, their friendship is not only fun but transformative. So while it may not always be smooth, the bond between Aries Snake and Sagittarius Monkey has the potential to last a lifetime. It is a friendship that thrives on contradiction. Laughter meets strategy, adventure meets caution, lightness meets intensity. And in that rare balance, they find something not only special but irreplaceable. A friendship that, like a firecracker, explodes with light, only this one doesn't burn out. It keeps glowing, sparking again and again, as long as both are willing to honor the unique magic they share. Business. Now, let's talk business, because when Aries Snake and Sagittarius Monkey come together in the professional world, the outcome can be nothing short of extraordinary. If, and this is a crucial if, they understand not only their roles but also each other's limitations and strengths. Aries Snake is born with a mind built for strategy. They think in terms of the long game, of structures, of foundations that will stand strong even when storms inevitably come. They are planners, visionaries who can see the big picture before others can even make out the first few steps. To the snake, business is not simply about making money in the moment. It's about legacy, about creating something that lasts, about building systems so strong that even chaos can't undo them. Sagittarius Monkey, meanwhile, approaches business from the complete opposite end of the spectrum, and that's precisely why they make such an electrifying partner. The monkey thrives in the spotlight, not because they crave attention alone but because their natural charm, quick wit, and ability to connect with others open doors that strategy alone could never crack. They are the ultimate networkers, the innovators, the ones who see an untapped opportunity and leap at it before anyone else has even noticed it exists. Where the snake measures risk carefully, the monkey often dives headfirst, fueled by confidence and a belief that something exciting will come out of the gamble. Together, they form a partnership that has the potential to become legendary. Picture a scenario. The snake sits quietly in the background of a business meeting, observing, calculating, noting every shift in tone, every flicker of expression, already 3 steps ahead in their mind. Meanwhile, the monkey is at the head of the table, dazzling the clients with charisma, turning complex ideas into stories everyone can understand, filling the room with energy that makes people want to say yes. The snake ensures the plan is solid, the monkey ensures the room is won over. This division of strengths makes them unstoppable. But the very differences that give them power can also be the seeds of conflict. The monkey's impulsiveness, their tendency to leap before looking, can send the snake into a quiet rage. To the snake, recklessness is dangerous, and every risk must be weighed, calculated, and considered from every possible angle. Watching the monkey make a quick decision without fully thinking it through can feel like watching a house they've spent months building being set on fire. On the other side, the monkey may become frustrated with the snake's cautious nature. To them, hesitation looks like fear, and fear looks like a lost opportunity. The monkey may snap, "If we wait any longer, someone else is going to take this idea," while the snake, in turn, may mutter, "If we don't wait, we're going to walk straight into disaster." These disagreements can become heated, and if not managed carefully, they risk derailing the partnership entirely. But here's the truth. If both partners learn to value the other's perspective, what initially feels like conflict transforms into balance. The monkey forces the snake to move faster than they would on their own, preventing opportunities from slipping away, while the snake ensures the monkey doesn't leap straight off a cliff. In other words, the monkey adds wings, and the snake makes sure those wings don't catch fire. When they find this balance, the possibilities are endless. Aries Snake's wisdom, patience, and ability to think long-term combine beautifully with Sagittarius Monkey's creativity, charisma, and relentless drive to innovate. The snake builds the infrastructure, the monkey brings the energy to scale it. The snake ensures the finances are stable, the monkey brings in the clients and investors. The snake crafts the vision, the monkey spreads it to the world. It is the perfect alchemy of backroom strategy and front-stage showmanship. Imagine them running a business together. The snake working late into the night over financial forecasts, market analysis, and strategies for sustainable growth, while the monkey schedules back-to-back meetings, charming investors, and rallying a team with laughter and inspiration. Neither could achieve as much alone, but together they could build empires. Of course, this partnership demands constant respect. If the snake begins to dismiss the monkey as shallow or reckless, the monkey may lose patience and start ignoring the snake's advice altogether. If the monkey ridicules the snake as overly controlling or slow, the snake may withdraw, choosing silence over collaboration, which can be equally destructive. The key lies in remembering that their very differences are the reason they succeed. In business, Aries Snake and Sagittarius Monkey are not just colleagues. They are a dynamic duo that embodies both sides of success: the vision and the voice, the architect and the performer, the strategist and the innovator. Their journey will not be without friction, but when friction is channeled correctly, it creates fire, and fire fuels progress. With the snake's wisdom guiding the way and the monkey's creativity lighting the path, there is no limit to what they can accomplish. So yes, they can succeed as partners. More than that, they can dominate. But only if they respect the delicate balance between caution and courage, strategy and spontaneity, depth and charm. When they do, their business partnership doesn't just thrive, it becomes the kind of story others in their field whisper about with awe, the story of two wildly different minds who came together and built something that neither could have created alone. Dark sides. Every relationship has shadows, and the connection between Aries Snake and Sagittarius Monkey is no exception. For all their passion, brilliance, and chemistry, there are deep undercurrents of danger in this pairing that can turn what was once a dazzling bond into something heavy, stormy, and destructive. Aries Snake, with their characteristic intensity, often carries within them the seeds of manipulation, jealousy, and possessiveness. Their love is strong, sometimes overwhelming, and while it can be beautiful when expressed as devotion, it can just as easily morph into control. The snake, fearing betrayal or instability, may demand loyalty not as a gift freely given but as a prize to be guarded and monitored. They can become so fixated on ensuring faithfulness that they build invisible cages around their partner, mistaking vigilance for love. Sagittarius Monkey, on the other hand, carries shadows of their own, shadows that manifest in restlessness, impulsivity, and a tendency toward recklessness. Their spirit is wild, adventurous, and uncontainable, but when left unchecked, that spirit can spiral into irresponsibility. They may chase excitement for its own sake, avoiding the more sobering responsibilities that a relationship demands. At times, their craving for novelty may make them flirt with dangerous boundaries, not always with malice but out of a desire to feel alive. And in doing so, they risk undermining the very stability that the snake so desperately seeks. When these darker sides collide, the result is often a toxic cycle that feeds on itself. The snake, sensing the monkey's restless energy, begins to tighten their grip, demanding more proof of loyalty, more sacrifices of freedom, more constant reassurance. But the more they attempt to control, the more the monkey rebels. The monkey's instinct is to run from anything that feels like chains, to resist any attempt to cage their laughter or dampen their joy. Their rebellion may take the form of defiance, sarcasm, secretive behavior, or reckless escapades meant to prove that no one, not even the snake, can own them. This rebellion cuts deeply into the snake's pride. For the snake, whose identity is so tied to loyalty and respect, the monkey's unpredictability feels like a slap in the face, an insult to the bond they thought was sacred. And in response, the snake may retreat into coldness or worse, plot subtle forms of revenge. Unlike the monkey, whose outbursts are loud and obvious, the snake's darker responses are quiet, hidden beneath a surface of calm. Their silence can be chilling, their passive withdrawal a punishment more severe than shouting. Sometimes, the snake's manipulations come cloaked as reason or concern, but beneath them lies a desire to regain control at any cost. The monkey, too, has their own ways of wounding. Their impulsivity, their quick tongue, their tendency to trivialize serious issues can make the snake feel small, unappreciated, or dismissed. The monkey's humor, which can be their greatest charm, becomes a weapon in moments of conflict. They may laugh at the snake's intensity, treating deep concerns as exaggerations, which only fuels the snake's rage. To someone as serious as the snake, being laughed at by the monkey feels like betrayal in its purest form. If these patterns are left unchecked, the relationship can spiral into a toxic loop of jealousy, arguments, mistrust, and silent wars. The snake, growing colder and more possessive, attempts to trap. The monkey, feeling suffocated, rebels harder, pushing boundaries further and further. The cycle repeats, growing darker each time, until both partners are left exhausted and bitter, wondering how something that once felt so magical became so destructive. And yet, even in these shadows, there is opportunity. The first step toward survival, and even growth, is recognition. Both partners must be willing to look honestly at themselves, to admit the darker impulses that drive them, and to understand how those impulses wound the other. The snake must recognize that love is not control, that loyalty is not a chain but a gift that can only be freely offered. They must learn that their partner's laughter and restlessness are not signs of betrayal but expressions of a nature that cannot, and should not, be caged. The monkey, meanwhile, must recognize that their pursuit of excitement has consequences, that freedom without responsibility becomes selfishness, and that recklessness can wound not only themselves but the person who loves them most. If they can move beyond ego, if the snake can let go of control and the monkey can curb their recklessness, then their shadows lose their destructive power. Instead of tearing them apart, these darker tendencies can become teachers. The snake learns patience and trust, the monkey learns respect and accountability. And in that learning, their relationship gains resilience, depth, and strength. But if they refuse to face these shadows, if both cling to ego and refuse to compromise, the darkness will consume them. The snake's possessiveness will strangle, and the monkey's impulsivity will destroy. The love that once felt like fire will turn to ash. The truth of their dark sides is this: they are not doomed, but they are challenged. Their love demands a higher level of self-awareness than most couples ever face. It demands growth, humility, and a willingness to fight not against each other but against the shadows within themselves. If they choose that path, their relationship does not just survive, it becomes stronger, more profound, and far more extraordinary than if those shadows had never existed at all. Life goals. Aries Snake's life goal is mastery, and that word cannot be emphasized enough. Whether it is mastery of their career, their craft, their relationships, or even themselves, the snake moves through life with an almost relentless desire to go deeper, to uncover what lies beneath the surface, and to establish influence that feels permanent. They crave wisdom, not shallow knowledge that floats on the surface, but the kind of wisdom that comes from years of observation, from strategy, from peeling back layers until truth itself is revealed. For the Aries snake, every pursuit in life is tied to a sense of permanence and purpose. They are not satisfied with skimming across the water, they want to dive down until they touch the very bottom. To them, fulfillment comes from mastery, from being recognized not as fleetingly good at something but as an undeniable force within their chosen realm. Sagittarius Monkey, on the other hand, dances to an entirely different rhythm. Their life goal is freedom, freedom to explore, to experience, to taste as much of life as they can before their time is up. For the monkey, joy is found not in mastery but in discovery. They crave the thrill of the unknown, the exhilaration of new experiences, the laughter that comes from trying something outrageous just because it's there to try. Where the snake looks to control their destiny with careful planning, the monkey prefers to leap without a map, trusting that the fall will turn into flight. To them, the meaning of life isn't about influence or permanence but about moments. Moments filled with joy, surprise, and adventure. At first glance, these two life philosophies seem completely incompatible. One seeks to root themselves deeply, the other seeks to soar endlessly. One craves legacy, the other craves freedom. One lives for mastery, the other for spontaneity. And yet, when these goals are viewed not as opposites but as complements, a startling truth emerges. Together, they balance each other in ways that make both stronger. The snake, through their steady pursuit of mastery, teaches the monkey the value of patience. They show that greatness often requires more than charm and quick wit, that sometimes the long road, the disciplined road, leads to rewards the monkey could never achieve with shortcuts. The snake embodies the power of strategy, of thinking 10 steps ahead, of knowing that the right move at the right time can change everything. By watching the snake, the monkey learns that freedom is sweeter when paired with focus, and that spontaneity can lead to chaos unless anchored by vision. Meanwhile, the monkey brings something equally vital to the snake's life. They remind the snake of the importance of joy, of the beauty of living in the moment instead of always plotting for tomorrow. The monkey teaches the snake that not everything has to be controlled, that some of the best things in life happen when you let go, laugh, and embrace the chaos. To the snake, who can sometimes get lost in intensity, the monkey becomes a breath of fresh air, a reminder that wisdom without joy is hollow, that mastery without laughter is sterile. The monkey helps the snake discover that moments of silliness, impulsive adventures, and unplanned detours often hold lessons and memories as profound as any carefully orchestrated plan. If they embrace this exchange, their life goals begin to align into something extraordinary. The snake does not abandon mastery, nor does the monkey abandon freedom, but together they weave their goals into a shared tapestry. The snake sets the foundation, building a life of security, influence, and strategy, while the monkey fills that life with color, laughter, and endless discovery. One provides the roots, the other provides the wings. Imagine them together in pursuit of a shared future. The snake plotting the careful steps of a career or family path, while the monkey ensures the journey is filled with spontaneity, trips taken on a whim, late-night laughter, new hobbies, and adventures that make the memories just as valuable as the achievements. The snake builds the structure that allows the monkey to fly without fear of crashing, while the monkey adds the air and energy that prevents the snake from suffocating in their own seriousness. Of course, their different goals can also create friction. The snake may grow frustrated with the monkey's endless chasing of new experiences, dismissing it as shallow or irresponsible. The monkey may grow impatient with the snake's insistence on discipline, feeling suffocated by their obsession with control and long-term planning. At its worst, the snake may accuse the monkey of wasting their life, while the monkey may accuse the snake of never actually living theirs. These conflicts can sting deeply, because they cut at the very core of who each partner is. But if they can move beyond judgment and embrace respect, these differences transform from obstacles into strengths. Instead of criticizing, they can admire. The snake can marvel at the monkey's ability to find joy everywhere, while the monkey can appreciate the snake's unwavering focus and wisdom. This shift in perspective is what allows their life goals to merge into a shared purpose. Together, their journey becomes one where ambition meets adventure. The snake ensures that their lives have direction, that their energy is not wasted, that every step builds towards something lasting. The monkey ensures that along the way, there is laughter, spontaneity, and a sense of wonder that prevents the journey from becoming sterile or joyless. Their life goals are not enemies, they are two halves of a whole, each incomplete without the other. In the grand scheme, Aries Snake and Sagittarius Monkey discover that their ultimate purpose is not merely individual achievement but shared growth. They learn that life is not just about mastering or exploring, it is about doing both, hand in hand. And in this, their goals align into something extraordinary. A partnership that proves ambition and adventure do not cancel each other out but instead create a life richer, fuller, and more unforgettable than either could ever build alone. Final conclusions. So, are Aries Snake and Sagittarius Monkey compatible? The answer is both yes and no, and perhaps more accurately, it depends. It depends on how much they are willing to compromise, to stretch, to grow, and to see the world not through their own eyes alone but through the perspective of the person standing beside them. This is not the kind of pairing that glides smoothly without effort. It is not built for ease or predictability. Rather, it is a relationship of extremes, filled with explosive passion, unforgettable adventures, and breathtaking highs, but also scarred at times by heated conflicts, sharp misunderstandings, and the kind of tension that can cut deep into the soul. When Aries Snake and Sagittarius Monkey clash, the experience is nothing short of elemental. It is fire and thunder colliding in the night sky, raw and untamed. Words are sharp, emotions surge, and both partners feel as though they are standing at the edge of something powerful and dangerous. The snake, with their pride and intensity, may brood in silence or lash out with icy precision. The monkey, with their restless defiance, may strike back with sarcasm, rebellion, or reckless behavior. These moments can feel catastrophic, leaving both wondering whether their differences are too vast, too consuming, too impossible to bridge. And yet, when they align, when their strengths stop colliding and instead begin complementing one another, they become unstoppable. Together, they are a force of nature, a couple who combines intelligence, humor, passion, and drive in ways that others can only watch with envy. The snake brings depth, wisdom, and loyalty, grounding the relationship with a sense of permanence. The monkey brings playfulness, charm, and freedom, lifting the relationship with laughter and spontaneity. When these qualities unite rather than divide, the result is extraordinary. A bond that not only survives but thrives in the face of adversity. The key lies not in erasing their differences but in respecting them. Aries Snake must learn that the monkey's restlessness is not betrayal but a hunger for life, an expression of curiosity and joy. Sagittarius Monkey must learn that the snake's intensity is not control for control's sake but a deep yearning for security, devotion, and stability. If they honor these truths instead of fighting against them, they find that their differences are not obstacles, they are the very ingredients that make their connection unique. In the end, this pairing is not about finding balance in the traditional sense, because balance implies something already there, waiting to be discovered. For Aries Snake and Sagittarius Monkey, it is about creating balance, shaping it through trial and error, through patience and passion, through learning to bend without breaking. It is about weaving together fire and laughter, loyalty and freedom, depth and playfulness into a life that feels both thrilling and meaningful. Their relationship will always be unpredictable, because that is who they are. There will be arguments, reconciliations, moments of silence, and bursts of laughter that echo through the years. There will be times when one feels misunderstood, and times when they feel like no one else on earth could possibly understand them better. But unpredictability does not mean instability. In fact, for this couple, it is the unpredictability itself that keeps the bond alive, fresh, and endlessly compelling. So, are they compatible? The real answer is this. Aries Snake and Sagittarius Monkey are not meant to fit together neatly like puzzle pieces. They are meant to challenge, to push, to provoke, and to inspire one another. Their compatibility is not given, it is earned, fought for, and built over time. And if they succeed in this, if they choose growth over ego and understanding over pride, they can create something that is not only enduring but unforgettable. Together, they can build a life that defies expectations, a life as unpredictable as it is enduring, as thrilling as it is meaningful. It may not be easy, but it will never be dull. And in the end, perhaps that is the truest kind of compatibility, not the absence of struggle, but the presence of a bond strong enough to withstand it, transform it, and turn it into something extraordinary.